तत्त्वविद् उत्तमवयम् विमोहिता विश्वसृजम् अधीश्वर विमोहिता विश्वसृजाम् अधीश्वर यद् इषित्वयति गुढ़ा इहाया यद् इषित्वयति गुढ़ा इहाय अहो विचित्रं भगवत् विचेष्टितम् अहो विचित्रं भगवत् विचेष्टितम् श्रीमुनय ऊचुः यन्मायया तत्त्वविद् उत्तमा वयम् विमोहिता विश्वसृजाम् अधीश्वरा यद् इषित्तव्ययति गूढ इहया अहो विचित्रं भगवत् विचेष्टितम् श्रीमुनय ऊचुः यन्मायया तत्त्वविद् तत् उत्तमा वयम् विमोहिता विश्वसृजाम् अधीश्वरः यद् इषित्तव्ययति गूढ इहया अहो विचित्रं भगवत् विचेष्टितम्. Yes, some devotees can recite. Mataji's. Word to word meaning. Sri Munaya Uchuhu. The great sages said, Yad whose Mayaya, by the power of illusion, Tattva of the truth, with knowers, Uttama, best, Vayam, we, Vimohita, confuse, Vishwa, of the universe, Srijam, of creators, Adishvaraha, the chief, Yad, the fact that, Ishitavyayati, Ishitavyayati, the Supreme Lord, pretends to be subject to higher control. Gudha hidden. Ihaya by his activities. Aho, aha. Vichitram, amazing. Bhagavat of the Supreme Lord. Vicheshtitam, the activity. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Disciples of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sages said, your power of illusion has totally bewildered us, the most exalted knowers of the truth and leaders among the universal creators. Aha! How amazing is the behavior of Supreme Lord. He covers himself with his human like activities and pretends to be subject to superior control. Purport. The sages have characterized the Lord's statement as inscrutable, Duran Vayam. How this is so is stated here. His words and activities bewilder even the most learned when he plays at subordinating himself to his own servants. Om Agyana Timirandasya ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौर तुषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So I welcome each one of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Also I seek blessings from each one of you so that I can speak something for my own purification. So here we are studying from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 84, entitled Sages Teachings at Kurukshetra. And just since few verses, the sages have started speaking. Before that, Krishna was speaking. So we'll just read briefly what Krishna said and what sages said. Okay. So here all great personalities in the universe have assembled at Kurukshetra. So I'll just today we are reading on text 16, but I will read the translation of previous uh, verses. Okay. As the women thus talked among themselves and the men among themselves, a number of great sages arrived there, all of them eager to see Lord Krishna and Lord Balram. They included Dwapayan, Vyasadev, Narada Muni, Chavan, Devala, Asita, Vishwamitra, Satananda, Bharadwaj, and Gautam, Lord Parshuram and his disciples, Vashishta, Galava, Brigu, Pulasya, and Kashyapa, Atri, Markandeya, and Brahaspati, Dvita, Trita, Ekata, and the four Kumaras, and Angira, Agastya, Yagyavalka, and Vamdev. Can you imagine what kind of assembly is this? These are, all extremely great personalities in the universe. Sometimes we don't know about these personalities in modern time. Therefore, we consider so-called scholars meet as to be very great. These are the biggest scholars in the world. Vyasdev, compiler of Vedas, Narada Muni, who can travel all over the universe, material world, spiritual world, not only externally but also internally. He can travel in heart of everyone, mind of everyone. He can understand everything, tatvata. All this Devala, Asita, Vishwamitra, one person, no, and they are so powerful. Four Kumaras, and and all of them are there. It's not that they are dead and gone. Uh, Only thing is, unfortunately, we don't have access to them. Mm. However, we can get access to them, and fortunately, we have in some way access to them in through Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. At least we have some access to their knowledge, but one can have direct access also. But for that, we need to be little qualified. But there are such great persons existing, and we see whenever some important occasion is then all great personages come from all over the universe. When Parikshit Maharaj was departing, all these great personages came. Now here we see when there are special solar eclipse in, so that time all sages came at Kurukshetra to see Krishna and see Balram. Especially when Krishna was there, what to speak? All the most important person in the universe used to be there. All great demigods, devatas used to come on earth, and great sages also used to come on earth. So, like when a great person comes, we can find all the great people there in that assembly, which are sometimes very difficult to access. But one big person comes along with him, other personalities come. Now, I may not have a great experience, but within my worldly limited experience, mm, whatever, like we saw when Pune temple inauguration was there, president came, and so many ministers and so many important personalities came. So along with him, we could see so many other people also. Similarly, we see every Rath Yatra when a chief minister comes. Along with chief minister, so many film stars, some sports stars, some different people come, which normally is difficult to see. But when somebody comes, big other people also come. Hmm? So here Krishna has come. So all the big personalities in the universe have come, including the biggest names, biggest sages have come here. As soon as they saw the sages approaching, the kings and other gentlemen who had been seated immediately stood up, including the Pandav brothers and Krishna and Balram. They all then bow down to the sages who are honored throughout the universe. We see emperors and kings, they are very much, they are the having great power, control, and all this. But then these kings also, when they saw sages, immediately, naturally, they got up out of respect. And along with all the kings and Pandavas, Krishna and Balaram also stood up and they received the sages. Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram, and other kings and leaders properly worship the sages by offering them words of greetings, sitting places, water for washing their feet, drinking water, flower garlands, incense, and sandal paste. After sages were comfortably seated, we see this first class hospitality. This is the Vedic culture. Guest, how we honor guest, and especially how we honor and respect a saintly person. After the sages were comfortably seated, the Supreme Lord Krishna, whose transcendent body protects religious principles, addressed them in the midst of that assembly. Everyone listens silently with rapt attention. So all sages have come, and now Krishna is speaking. What is Krishna speaking? Hear attentively. So Lord Krishna spoke. Now our lives are indeed successful, for we have obtained life's ultimate goal, the audience of great yoga masters, which even demigods only rarely obtain. Krishna is saying, oh, our lives are perfect because we are able to meet greatest saintly people in the universe, which even devatas also have mm, rare occasion, rare opportunity to meet. Mm. So when we are able to get association saintly people, that is the greatest good fortune, that is perfection. How is that people who are not very austere and who recognize God only in his deity form in the temple can now see you, touch you, inquire from you, bow down to you, worship your feet, and serve you in other ways? Mere, and this is this verses. Mere bodies of water are not the real sacred places of pilgrimage, nor are mere images of earth and stone the true worshipable deities. This purify one only after a long time, but saintly sages purify one immediately upon being seen. गंगार परशोइले पाश्चात्य पावन दर्शन पवित्र तोमारगुन. So holy places and all these things, worshipping deities, that will purify a person after a long time. But saintly people association can immediately purify. Mm. Neither the demigods controlling fire, the sun, the moon, and the stars, nor those in charge of earth, water, ether, air, speech, and mind actually remove the sins of their worshippers, who continue to see in terms of dualities. But wise sages destroyed one's sins when respectfully served for even a few moments. Uh, Pape dure jaye. As soon as one goes near a saintly person, what happens? Sins go far away. We see hippies who had no culture. As soon as they came near Prabhupada, immediately sins went far away. Immediately they started chanting Hare Krishna. They started practicing spiritual life, and immediately they are freed from sinful activities and they are free from sinful reactions as well. So when person goes near a saintly person, this is the byproduct, immediate byproduct. Mm. As soon as you go near the heat or fire, you get heat and light. No? So as soon as you go near a saintly person, all sins go away. You get light and lightened. You also get warmth. And then this is a very famous verse which Krishna speaks. This is directly spoken by Krishna to all the kings in front of all saintly people in order to glorify saintly people. One who identifies himself as the inner body composed of mucus. Who identifies oneself as body? 99.999% of this world, people in this world. Most of people identify themselves as body. One who identifies himself as the inner body composed of mucus, bile, and air, who assumes his wife and family are permanently his own, who thinks, I think this assumption is slowly getting disturbed in modern times. Okay. Who thinks an earthly image or the land of his birth is worshipable, no? Or who sees a place of pilgrimage as merely the water body, merely the water there, but who never identifies himself with, feels kinship with, worships or even visits those who are wise in spiritual truth. Such person is no better than a cow or an ass. Basically, one who doesn't understand the value of saintly person, who doesn't take accession of saintly person, and who is just stuck with the external rituals, external things, uh, they are no better than a cow or an ass. Cow, sometimes cow's child dies, and the farmer may take a dead calf, and then mm, cover it with something and present into the cow. Mm. If skin is all internal things are removed, only skin is there and stuffed with so many things. A cow may think is my child and still out of affection gives milk. Because cow thinks this external body only, So cow can be cheated. Ass, ass is a foolish animal. Uh, he works very hard for practically nothing. So Krishna is saying people who don't know how to honor and take association of saintly people, they are animals. So when in this way, by his sweet words and his wonderful behavior, Krishna uh, pleased the saintly people. Krishna glorified saintly people. And when saintly people, all sages heard it, everybody was stunned. It is said, no? Here, Sukadeva Goswami said, hearing such unfathomable words from the unlimited wise Lord Krishna, the learned Brahmanas remained silent, their minds bewildered. For some time, the sages pondered the Supreme Lord's behavior, which resembled that of a subordinate living being. They concluded that he was acting this way to instruct the people in general. Thus, they smiled and spoke to him, the spiritual master of the universe. So, these sages are not ordinary sages. Here, Narada, Vyasa, Asita, Devala, all these great personalities mentioned, all of them were stunned. And then, after some time, understanding, okay, why they were stunned? Because Krishna was speaking as if he's ordinary living entity, as if he's one of the kings. And he was subordinating himself and he was glorifying sages and Brahmanas and worshipping them. Anybody sees that, naturally will get bewildered. Like we see Lord Ram, mm, before going to Lanka, he is offering prayers to ocean god. Now anybody sees it, one may think, one will think him to be ordinary. Or sometimes Lord Ram is worshipping Shiva. Now one may consider Ram to be ordinary. Or sometimes we see Krishna or Ram worshipping any other devta. People get bewildered. Mm. But these sages, these are the top most celebrated sages in the universe. Uh, they were momentarily stunned, but they understood that Krishna is just acting in this way just to teach everybody proper etiquettes, proper behavior. So today's verse everybody can repeat. The great sages said. The great sages said, your power of illusion has totally bewildered us, the most exalted knowers of the truth and leaders among the universal creators. Aha! How amazing is the behavior of Supreme Lord. He covers himself with his human like activities and pretends to be subject to superior control. So, sages. So, remember who are the sages? Who are the sages here? Vyasadev, Narada, Chavan, Devala, Asita, Vishwamitra, Satanand is our Janak Maharaja's guru, his family priest, Bharadwaj, Gautam, Parshuram, and his disciple Vashishta, Galava, Bhrugu, Pulatsya, Kashyapa, Kashyap Muni also, Atri, Markandeya, Brihaspati, Dvita, Trita, Ekata, four Kumaras, Angira, Agastya, Yagyavalka, Vamdev. Is there anybody missing in the list? The biggest name? No? So all these sages are saying that, my dear Lord, your power of illusion has totally bewildered us. They are saying that we are bewildered. These are the biggest names. They are saying we are bewildered. Who are these? Are the leaders in the entire universe. They are considered bigger than all the devatas. Mm. So they are saying we are bewildered. What to speak of others? And they are saying how amazing it is, Krishna's behavior. He is supreme person, Godhead. He is the creator, maintainer, destroyer of the universe, but is acting like a ordinary human being, as is under a superior control. Hmm. So Krishna glorified sages, um, but sages were not in one way sages, because these are very exalted sages. They could understand. Krishna is glorifying us just to teach the whole world. But we should not take Krishna to be ordinary and consider him to be our subordinate. We should not take Krishna to be any other king in the assembly. So these sages knew Krishna is supreme person of Godhead. And they spoke, my dear Lord, uh, your activities are so bewildering. Mm, mm. So you are appearing just like ordinary human being. Mm. So Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's activities are so bewildering. Mm. Therefore, it is not surprising if people have different opinions about Krishna. One of the most confusing and one of the most uh, varied varied opinions people have is about Krishna and his pastimes. Hmm. If you ask them, what do you say of Krishna? And you'll see everybody will have his own opinion and wide range of opinions. So very confusing. Relatively, uh, Lord Ram's behavior is little better in the sense it's less bewildering. Though he's bewildering, but still relatively less. And we see, uh, oh, Lakshmi Narayan is even better. Hmm. Or Narasimhadev and all, they are less bewildering. Jai Shishi Nitai Gauranga Ki Jai. And here are Nitai Gauranga, supremely bewildering. Hmm. At least Krishna, people are able to accept because he also performed so many, though he performed human like pastimes, but he also performed many uh, uh, unhumanly pastime which cannot be imitated. He showed Vishwarupa. He killed so many demons. So, in one way, Krishna's pastime building, but what to speak of pastimes of Nitai Gauranga? They are same Krishna and Balram. Hmm? And sometimes after uh, worshipping them, serving them, hearing about them, after days and months and years, still one wonder whether they are really God or no. The, because they have come in such a simple way, and they're just telling everybody to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. They have not come with Shankar Chakra, Gada, Padma. They are not, killing. They are not showing some super external, some material opulences. They are going door to door begging, please chant Hare Krishna. No? So these things are very bewildering. Mm, mm, mm. So Krishna's pastimes, very bewildering. Damodar Lila, we see Krishna is Supreme Lord, but he is bound by Mother Yashoda. And Krishna is so fearful of Mother Yashoda. Fear personified is fearful of Krishna, and Krishna is fearful of this lady, Yashoda. Now, it's really bewildering for a logical person. Krishna is appearing as son of Vasudev Devki, and he's in so much an anxiety. He's running away, escaping from jail, going to, Vrindavan, living in hiding. Or Krishna is running away from Mathura and creating house, home in Dwarka within ocean. Uh, Appears like he's fearful of, uh, demons and enemies. We see Krishna is going Gurukul, accepting spiritual master. And then we see Krishna's pastime finally, emotional Leela, where there's fighting, and then Krishna externally living this world and departing from this world, going back to about spiritual world. Very, very bewildering. Like Narsimha is appearing from pillar and again disappearing. To accept him as God or something very amazing is not difficult. Uh, but Krishna, he's appearing and he's appearing, he's taking birth apparently with mother, father. Apparently, he's also living the world, and his activities are very, very bewildering. Mm. So, if people in this world have different opinions about Krishna, it is not surprising because to know Krishna is very confidential. Uh, is ultimate purpose of Veda. Veda sarva aham vedyo. Purpose of Veda is to know Krishna, and it's not so easy. Bhavanam janmanamante. Jnanavan mam prapade. Vasudev sarvamiti sam atma sudurlava. To understand Krishna, how Krishna is source of everything, it's not one lifetime, millions of lifetime. For great souls, for those who are learned people, it takes millions of years, millions of lifetimes. Therefore, these people are called Mahajanas. One who knows Krishna, he is a Mahatma or a Mahajana. Mm. So we see, ordinary people cannot understand Krishna. Ordinary people cannot understand Krishna's message or dharma. They get confused and bewildered. So here it is said, Tarko pratishtam shutayo vibhinna nasa risho yasya matam na bhinnam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya mahajane gata sampanta. Krishna and Krishna's message or dharma is very good, and ordinary people cannot understand. They get bewildered. There are always conflicts, confusion. But if you want to know real dharma, that real dharma is hidden in the hearts of Mahajana, great souls. Mahajana Gata Sapana. So one should follow in footsteps of Mahajanas, great souls. The names of the sages, most of them are actually great souls, Mahajans. And especially Bhagavatam, our Yamraj, he tells who are the Mahajanas. Who are the Mahajanas? Swambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo, Manu, Pradho, Janako, Bhishma, Balir, Vayasaki, Vayam, Swambhu, Brahmaji, Narad, Shambhu, Lord Shiva, Kumara, four Kumaras, Kapil, Dev, incarnation of God, son of Dehuti, Manu, Swambhu, Manu, Prahlad, great devotee Prahlad, Janak Maharaj, father of Mother Sita, Bhishma, grandfather Bhishma, son of Mother Ganga, Balir, Vayasaki, Vayam, Bali Maharaj, Vayasaki, Sukdev Goswami, and Vayam. Vayam means Yamraj. So Yamraj said, these are 12 people who understand Dharma and who understand God. And this understanding of God and understanding of Dharma is very, very difficult. Dharmam, Bhagavatam, Bhata, Guhyam, Vishuddham, Durbhodam. Guhyam, it is very confidential. Vishuddham is very pure, mm, transcendental. This Dharma is transcendental, not material. Cannot be understood with material intelligence. Uh, it is Adokshaje. Lord and Dharma is both beyond the senses. It's transcendental. Durbhodam. Durbodham is very difficult to understand, not easily understood. So, to understand God and to understand Dharma is very difficult. However, uh, Mahajanas know, Mahajanas can understand. So, we are so fortunate that by blessings of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara, we are getting some indication of God, some understanding, little bit of Dharma. So, when Prabhupada was talking about this 12 Mahajanas, one of his disciples, he told Prabhupada, you are the 13th Mahajan. Prabhupada said, you are the 14th Mahajan. Anybody who accept the words of Mahajanas as it is, with great faith and try to follow in their footsteps, one can become Mahajan. It's not that Mahajan is just a title. In Maharashtra, there is a title Mahajan. So, mm, like somewhere there in Bengal, there is title Goswami, there is title Das, there is title Prabhu, like that. Na? These are titles are there, but then there are deep meaning. And so Mahajan means not just title, but mm, great souls, Mahajan, mm, who, who understands God, who understands Krishna, who understands Dharma. Mm. So ordinarily it's very difficult, but if somehow or other we can connect to Guru Parampara by mercy of Guru and the previous Acharyas, one can understand Krishna and Dharma to some extent within our abilities. So Prabhupada started ISKCON and Prabhupada wrote these books and Prabhupada traveled everywhere just to teach this real Dharma, to teach and enlighten people in science of God and help people not only know God but also love God. So, and especially Prabhupada gave this Bhagavatam. And we see Bhagavatam talks about topmost Dharma, and Bhagavatam rejects Kaitava Dharma, uh, false or so called religion. सवै पुंसा परो धर्म यतो भक्तिर अधोक्षजे अहितुकी अप्रतिहता ययात्मासु प्रसीदति. So topmost dharma is bhaktir adokshije, performing devotional service to Krishna. Hmm? Hmm. And that bhakti has to be ahituki apratihata. It has to be unmotivated, no material motivation. If there is material motivation, then there will be break also. When material motivation is not fulfilled, there will be break. But when there are no material motivation, ahituki, then it can be apratihata. It will be continuous. It will not be having interruption. If somebody performs devotional service with some motivation, material motivation, oh, maybe I will worship Krishna so that I can become very wealthy. But imagine he doesn't become wealthy, he becomes poverty stricken. Then he will give up, if his purpose of worshipping Krishna is to achieve wealth. So if he loses wealth, then he will give up worship or devotional service. But if he has no material motivation, he just serves, mm, knowing that my constitutional position, Jair Sobhoy Krishna Nityadas. My natural is to love and serve Krishna. Let me love and serve Krishna without any material motivation. Let me serve Krishna for his pleasure. Let me serve Krishna because that is my nature, eternal nature. Let me be naturally situated. So then one bhakti can be uninterrupted. But if there are material motivations, then it will be interrupted. So, other day, one devotee was asking, Prabhuji, how to balance this material life and bhakti, sometimes very difficult. So, first thing is that I was asking, why you want to balance? Why don't you want to practice Krishna consciousness, bhakti properly, Uh, because we have to balance when there is some bad effect of something. Like in material world, everything has duality. So we have to balance. Like if somebody works too hard, then there are consequences of working too hard. His health will collapse, his relationship will collapse, and so he has to balance. He cannot work too much. And he has to balance how much to work, how much not to work. If he studies too much, also there are some side consequence of it. No, in this world, whatever you do, if you go to extreme, there will be some problem. So therefore, for material things, you need to balance. But as far as actually bhakti is concerned, bhakti is natural, and uh, and if you can do always bhakti, it's wonderful. And sometimes people think, oh, Prabhuji, I think. I am doing too much bhakti. Uh, uh, Maybe I should little slow down in my bhakti. Actually, we can never do too much bhakti. Whatever we do is always less only. What Krishna is doing for us is too much, and if you want to respect it with Krishna, whatever we do is less only. Mm. Whatever spiritual master and previous Acharya is doing for us is too much. So whatever you do in respect with them is always less. So one should understand that bhakti is not a material thing. We see sages ask, my dear Sudha Goswami, please tell us what is ultimate good and what is absolute good. Absolute good means there is no negative consequence of it. In material world, there is no absolute good. In material world, whatever you do, if you try to do good, always there will be some bad associated with it. No activity is absolute good in material world. Uh, you do give charity, that also will have some negativity involved in. You speak truth in material world, that will also have some negative consequence. You do anything in this material world, any material activity, there's always some negative consequences, because this world is world of dual. You love someone, you end up hating someone. So there is no absolute good in material platform. Everything has a duality. Anything you may do with good intention, good thing, and some results will be bad. So we have to consciously see how to balance. But sages, when asked, please tell us what is ultimate good and absolute good. Sutta Goswami said the ultimate good and absolute good is bhakti. Mm, mm. Adokshaja. Aituki bhakti for Krishna. So bhakti is absolute good. There's no negative consequence of bhakti. Whether you do little, there's little benefit. You do more, there's more benefit. And you do much more, there's much more benefit. And we can never do too much bhakti. Whatever bhakti we do is always less only. So sometimes there is negative consequences when one does bhakti. That means maybe he's not executing bhakti properly. Bhakti in itself has no negative consequences. But some practitioner immaturely practices bhakti, there may be some uh, consequences. But anybody does bhakti properly, result is only good. Mm. Absolute good means it is good for everybody. Absolute good means it is good today, it was good yesterday, and it is good. It will be good tomorrow. Absolute good means it's good for me, it's for good for you, and it is for everyone. Other things, any other thing than this bhakti is not. Some things are good today, but tomorrow same thing may be bad. Some things may be good for some people, but same thing may be bad for other people. Hmm? So but bhakti is good all time, for all places, uh, for everyone. But this bhakti has to be performed under direction. Bhakti has to be understood from Mahajanas and those who are sincerely follower. If we don't understand bhakti and then we follow something as per our own mental speculation and term as bhakti, then there will be some negative consequences. But if somebody follows bhakti under direction of a bona fide spiritual master, under direction of a capable devotee, then there will be only absolute good. There is only good. There is no negative consequences for it. And apparently, whatever negative may happen, that is also will be only for the good. So temporarily we may feel there is negativity, but later on we'll be grateful for that whatever little negativity may come over a period of practice of devotional service. So bhakti is not material. But if we think bhakti to be material, and then we need to balance, and then there are some challenges. So if you try to compartmentalize life, okay, morning program is bhakti, and daytimes my work is material, then there will be problem. So one has to see how to spiritualize everything and do everything as service to Krishna. Mm. Okay, we are doing morning sadhana as service to Krishna, for purification. Similarly, daytime duties, whatever doing, we do as service to Krishna. Mm. Rather, each and everything we do, taking rest also as service to Krishna, because this body belongs to Krishna. We need to take care of body so that we can engage in service to Krishna. So whatever we are doing, if we see it in terms of bhakti, in terms of Krishna service, then everything is spiritualized. Then life will be wonderful. And in conditioned state, if you really want to balance bhakti and our life, then what we have to do? We have to restrict material life, because Maya is so powerful that if you, what happens is, we have go out of balance means what happens? We become more material conscious, and we get more materially engaged in conditioned state, because we don't have natural love for Krishna. We may be carried away by materialistic past conditioning and other things. So one thing is, there no need to balance bhakti, because if it is done in proper guidance. But at all, if you all do balance, if there is some compartmentalization in our hearts and minds that this is bhakti, this is material life, then we have to restrict material life. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that, okay, 8 hours for body, 8 hours for profession, 8 hours for our spiritual practices. So if you don't restrict material this thing, there is tendency it will overflow. Like if you say, okay, work 8 hours will do. Now if you don't restrict, then it will go 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. Then it will affect negatively other aspect. Or if you don't restrict body, 8 hours, 6 hours sleep, 2 hours prasad, bath, all this. There is tendency that it can go 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. There is tendency to expand these aspects. Generally, there is no tendency to expand spiritual, in conditions that one doesn't feel like, oh, Prabhuji, somehow I was unconscious, and then instead of chanting system, I chanted 32 rounds. Instead of reading Bhagavatam every day for 1 hour, last somehow not few months, I'm reading 4 hours every day. Uh, Prabhuji, instead of doing sadhana for 5 hours, I have been doing 10 hours. Somehow now I have come to my consciousness now. General in condition state doesn't happen like that. No? This happens when one is in bhava and prem stage. And those who are in bhava and prem stage, if they do all this, there is no side negativity. Uh, but for condition state balance means, we have to restrict material aspect of life. Mm, We have to tell, okay, I will work maximum 8 hours, my professional duty. Because if I work 10 hours, 12 hours, then I have to compromise on my body or my sadhana. But general conditions will not compromise on body. If we work more, like we work 10 hours or 12 hours for material duty, mm, suppose somebody is working 12 hours, then 6 hours of rest is not sufficient for him. He may have to sleep for 8, 10 hours. Somebody works 12 hours job, mm, professional, then 8 or 10 hours sleep. 10 hours sleep he does how much? 12-hour job plus 10 hours, 8 hours, suppose, okay, 8 hours sleep, 20 hours. Then taking bath and prasad and all these things, 22 hours will go. And barely you could just chant 2 hours. No, it's very difficult. So, if you really want to practice our Krishna consciousness, and one says so called balance, then we have to restrict. I am not going to do professional more than 8 hours, because if I do, then my body will need more time, because material things are very tiring. Spiritual things, if you do more, you will get more time and more energy. But material things, you do more, you will drain your energy. It will affect. Then no, you can't give more time. Then you will need, definitely you will need more time for body. Then you will need more time for mind also, because mind also get frustrated and so many things. But you spend more time for spiritual things, then body and mind will require less. Then you will get more time. So if anyway, if you want to balance, then you have to restrict 8 hours of professional duty. If you do more than that, body will need more, and then sadhana will become weak. This is for those who really want to practice Krishna consciousness, who goal is to go back home, back to Godhead. Then we have to restrict bodily needs, how much we are going to spend. Okay, we have 6 hours sleep. Then we have to know this much time for bathing, this much time for eating, this much other times, no. Then we'll have time for sadhana and no uh, direct Krishna seva, Shravanam, Kirtanam, or DT worship, all those things. So we have to, in that way, struggle. Otherwise, nowadays, Maya is so powerful. Maya may bewilder us. One thing's okay. I need to do job so that I can maintain family, so that I can practice Krishna consciousness nicely. So, so yes, we have to always be conscious why I am doing what I am doing. Okay, I am getting married so that I can practice Krishna consciousness better, or I am joining brahmacharya so that I can practice Krishna consciousness better. The goal is Krishna consciousness. Mm. For sake of practicing Krishna consciousness, one may be marrying, and then so marriage should facilitate Krishna consciousness, not that take us away from Krishna. Now, if you have family, then we have to work. Purpose of work is so that we can take care of family and all this nicely, so that we can practice Krishna nicely. Not that we are working, and to take care of work, you need support from family, and not that to make you able worker in material world. You have family, and then to support and family and your work, you practice spiritual life. Prabhuji, let me chant Hare so that I can maintain some peace, so that I can manage family, so that I can work nicely in the company. It should not be other way around. It should be other way, that I want to practice Krishna nicely, and for sake of practice Krishna, I need to properly situate my ashram, and for that I may have to do other things. So we should know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and then one will be gradually able to progress. And this uh, things we can do properly only under guidance. Otherwise, Maya is very powerful. Krishna is bewildering, Maya is also bewildering. Um, for us, so we may get bewildered anytime in name of Krishna consciousness. So we have to remain in association of devotees, and we have to remain under guidance of devotees. Then we may be able to practice Krishna consciousness and progress in Krishna consciousness. So here sages are saying, my dear Krishna, your activities are bewilder. You are the creator, maintainer, destroyer, but you are appearing like a ordinary person. So and so your behavior is so amazing, and you are appearing to be under superior control, but actually you are supreme controller. And further, like that, sages keep on glorifying Krishna in further few verses. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Anybody has any comment, any question, any discussion? Okay. So thank you very much. Mahaprasad ki jai. Hare Krishna.